Hello and welcome to another episode of Mellow Talk. Today we have another special guest today, a very amazing artist, Mazelfyre. Introduce yourself to
Good.
the audience.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm a Canadian artist. I
Ooh.
go by Mazelfyre.
Mm.
People call me Maze. And yeah, I've just been making music for like the past like 4 years.
Oh, that's dope. So,
Yeah.
uh, first question, like, when did it all start for you? Like, what was that big moment for you to start doing music?
Um, like in 2018. So yeah, 5 years now
Mm.
of doing this shit. Like I was listening to like all these SoundCloud artists,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, damn, like they just make it. And like I came across Shiloh Dynasty
Oh,
on
Shadow
Instagram.
Dynasty, yeah.
Yeah, Shiloh. And I was like, wow, like she just played with her guitar, and I had a guitar.
Mm.
So I was like, I just want to start doing that, like I just want to start making music about how I feel and stuff. And now I'm here. I've been doing
Mm.
it ever since then.
That's a dope inspiration. That's the first time I've ever heard someone name out Shiloh Dynasty because she was actually a really great artist. I actually enjoyed a lot of her posts that she made, even if they were short snippets of stuff, but they were really
Yeah,
cool though and really unique, and it was like cool thing to
yeah.
see. So, who was like your main inspirations besides like Shiloh Dynasty? Like, did you have any other inspirations to like make you start music?
Yeah, I would say like Playboy Cardi.
Mm.
I don't know. I just felt like the way, I don't know, his music was just so addictive back then.
100%.
And yeah, like I would say been the main like inspiration
Yeah.
ever since I started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing because like it was like 2018. I was dude, like everyone was loving Cardi back then. It was just, like he had a lot of good I forgot what project was out around that time, but it was just like it was a good time for music in 2018. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
Like you had X, you had Migos. You did that so there was just so much talent. Just crazy amount
Yeah.
of talent. So like over your experience of making music for like 5 or 4 years, like how's been like your experience making it? Like what have you learned out of it?
Um, I'd say like one thing I've learned is like even if you're talented, like you still gotta like really practice.
Yeah.
Like it's not enough to just be talented. Because when I first started, like I knew I could play the guitar and I knew I could do these things. Um, and that first year I wasn't really like driven to practice, you know,
Yeah.
just playing my guitar or producing or just like making songs. But as I got older, I was like, oh, you actually gotta like practice with this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like that's that's a great way to put it because, there's a lot of artists out there that believe like, oh, it's like I got all this talent, I don't really need to practice. Like, dude, you should always practice. Like you always should
yeah,
like always change up how you do, your usual like thing. Like if you're trying to spit, you
yeah,
always want to change the way you spit, your rhymes and shit. Like always want to change it up. There's nothing wrong
yeah.
with practicing at all. So, done a little digging on you, right? And I've seen that you've
Mhm.
done some live shows, right? Like,
Yeah,
how was your
yeah.
experience doing a couple of those shows before? Like, how was that?
Always really good. My first live show, I wasn't too scared.
Mm,
I was mainly just worried, like, oh, what if the audience doesn't like the
yeah.
song? But because, like, even back then, I knew my shit was, like, kind of, like, different.
Mm,
So I was like, damn. But, I still went out there and I just tried to have good crowd control. Like, I would watch, like, other people's performances, like
yeah.
Trippie Redd, X, before I went on.
Mm,
So I could have that energy and just, like, put it out, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. That's like now a lot of artists, especially like around the underground, like they don't really try to do as much shows. I feel like as an artist, you should try to get out there as much as possible and
Yeah.
really just like experience like how it is to like perform your song and shit. Because like you may have like the way that you record it and everything, but like how does it perform out live and everything?
Yeah.
Who like what was the like for your experience like performing and stuff? Like which song did the crowd like the most out of all of them?
Um, my one performance I did, they like this one song called Flex Up.
That's
It's one of my like old SoundCloud like
uh,
songs, and it's really like fast paced and
yeah.
stuff. and they made me perform it 3 times. Like,
Damn.
yeah, like they were like again, and I was like, damn, okay. So they really fucked with that one.
Yeah. They was like, yeah, I love this shit. You keep it get hype and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
But 3 times though, that's pretty crazy though. That's actually cool. I
yeah.
never knew
Man, I
like
was so
I
tired.
never knew like at concerts you can like repeat songs either. I thought usually like you go from one song to the next. That's cool though.
I mean, you can. I mean, they asked for it, so I just did it.
Mm,
You know.
that's dope though.
Yeah.
So besides your music too, I wanted to ask you like how did because I've seen that you've done like graphic design work and animations and you have like your own website and
Mhm.
stuff. Like, can you like tell me a little bit about like your experience like making all these animations and stuff and like all this cool stuff that you're making for your brand and everything surrounding your music.
Yeah, like I realized I kind of needed better cover art
Mm,
because I was kind of just screenshotting whatever I saw online,
yeah.
and that's what made me start doing the graphic design stuff.
Mm,
And I think I took out like 3 months out of like last year. Just every day I would wake up, I wouldn't even put my laptop to sleep. Like I would wake up my laptop on my bed and just continue, like not get out of bed,
dude,
just
that's grind,
right
bro.
back to like learning graphic design. So yeah, like the learning curve, it was a bit hard,
Mm,
especially because my laptop wasn't strong enough.
yeah.
But I just kept at it, and I would say like the hardest part really is just like the animation, because animation is just hard in general. Like it's just so
Dude,
tedious.
it is very tedious. Like from my
Yeah,
experience, like it's just coding everything to where it needs to be and sequencing it and knowing where this is gonna be at and what camera's on and all that. Not it's just straight nonsense. Like you can learn it and stuff, but it's just like it's just very tedious to do. But I
yeah.
from what I've seen, like for what you've been creating and stuff, it's really some cool stuff, and it's very neat,
Thank
unique,
you.
and it's like it really what's the word? It really connects to like your music and everything and the style that you're going for. So
Thank you. Thank you.
another thing.
Yeah.
I've seen you on probably like 2 like top 25 lists in the underground, like
Yeah.
as underground artists. So like I want to know like how were you feeling in the moment when you saw your name on that like on the top tier list for like best artists in the underground?
Oh man, I mean, it's always really cool, right?
Yeah.
Because like the support I get, but it's always like, God damn, like I don't want to do anything to mess it up.
Right,
Like
dude.
sometimes I feel like I'll mess it up, like, oh shit, like I'll release one song, people be like, oh, I'm not feeling that way.
Right, cuz then
But I just,
yeah,
yeah,
cuz it just like you want like you won't know like oh is this song gonna be good like the other ones like how like you start to have more like I would guess like more press on your shoulders almost like a little more weight
yeah,
like is that how you were feeling too in that moment?
yeah. Like more bigger artists I looked up to started following me,
Mm. Oh, that's
and
cool.
I was like, God damn, like I was like, holy fuck, like now I really
Yeah,
gotta
now you got
change.
so like
Yeah,
since you were featured on that list like what do you plan on doing like do you have like any ideas for like projects or anything coming up soon?
yeah. I'm currently working a project. I keep pushing it back, I guess, because like I just want to make sure
Yeah.
like the rollout is
Yeah,
good,
dude. You want to make sure it's like all set
Um,
there.
yeah, I don't want it to, like the momentum building. I don't want it to just like fizzle out.
Yeah.
So, I've been working on the cover art, in Blender, take some
Mm.
time, mixing, mastering everything myself.
Wow.
So that's kind of like my plan now, just like releasing a project that's like, hey, this is like Mazel, like this
Yeah,
is
this
the
is who.
the new
Yeah,
refined. Yeah.
this is like who I am. It's like I'm. This is
Mhm.
my full artistic ability, and seeing
Yeah.
how like creative I am. That's really dope. That is super
Yeah.
dope. Cause like when you drop an album, like especially when it's like a debut almost for you, cause like you have like a full catalog, but not a full like album and stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
that debut is like really gonna show off like who you are, like as a creative person, as an artist, and that's gonna be really
Yeah.
dope that you're doing it all yourself too. So it's like you know how you want to feel in certain parts for it.
Yeah.
Can you give us one word to describe this album? Like, do you have any like ideas on what it's the style you're trying to go for?
Well, it's not really an album, it's like an EP.
Yeah.
Just like ethereal, like kind of stuff you
Mm.
listen to, and like late night drive
Yeah.
type stuff. The kind of I do try to make songs. I feel like I want people to get lost in.
Mm.
You put your own narrative in the song when you listen to it.
Dude, that's like a really good way to describe your sound, especially because like when I've heard your music, like, I would listen to it with my headphones every day or on the speakers, and it's like it always
Yeah.
came out really nice. It's very like ethereal sounding and stuff, and,
Yeah,
and
thank
that's
you.
like I feel like that's why you really deserve like being on that top tier list because like you're very unique with your sound and how you do it and how you manipulate
Thanks.
and not a lot of artists really do that nowadays, especially like it's really hard to diversify from a lot of artists sounding very similar off of each other and stuff. So another thing for you, what are, besides like your EP, do you have any like bigger broader goals that you're trying to achieve in this new year as well besides your EP?
Yeah, I definitely want to like. I put on a show last year.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to do another one this year.
Mm-hmm.
With a higher budget and stuff. Yeah. And I definitely want to get like more in touch with my American audience because I do have a lot of like American supporters.
Yeah.
Especially in New York. So I definitely want to go out there more.
Mm.
And yeah, just kind of like those are like my main goals right now.
Yeah. That's some really good goals for you, especially like touring down in like New York. There's a ton of places you can tour at. Like there's, and you said you're from Canada, right? So you're close by.
Yeah.
This Peace Bridge is damn near right around the corner from you, possibly.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a really reachable goal for you because you've been growing your fan base and everything. A lot of people have been supporting you. It's awesome to see that.
Yeah, thank you.
And another thing for you. So you said you want to try to do some new shows, right? And try to host some more. By hosting, like, what do you mean by like hosting? Can you elaborate on how you're trying to do it for the shows?
Yeah, like the one I did last year was kind of like a showcase. So the artists in my city, I got them together to perform at the show. And basically, I was just kind of like a showcase, and I was like the MC, and I would like introduce people and stuff. And I performed as well at the end, so stuff like that.
That's dope. So are you going to try to bring some artists? Like if you do try to plan like shows in America, would you try to bring in some artists from your area or possibly bring in artists from like the areas in America? Like what would be that plan?
I mean, yeah, like definitely. If they can make it, for sure. Because I do have like friends that are in New York.
Yeah.
And they said that they would be down to come to one of my shows again if I hosted it in my city in Canada.
Dude, I would.
Which was cool of them.
Yeah, I would 100% go to one of your shows because I'm in New York and I'm in the New York area. So I would definitely. I would 100% do an editorial. I'll 100%. I'll bring my. I'll get my little press pass. From the boys. Go down there, take a drive. It'll be a cool experience too. Take some pictures if I have a camera. I might run out a camera or some shit. I don't know. But that's really dope though, because like to me, like a lot of artists kind of lack in the experience of performing or hosting, and it's like you're kind of like a very mix of like all those like skills you would need in like the music industry and this like how to do well as a musician in general. And that's like a good thing to see, and it's good to see that you give other artists opportunities as well too. That's awesome. That's just awesome.
Definitely.
So like, can you like talk on those other artists' experience too from those shows, like how they performed and everything?
Yeah, they perform well. They usually bring like a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And some of them were new, so they did pretty good for their first time like performing.
Wow.
And I would try to like make sure that any of those like awkward silences would be filled in with talking and stuff. So the show just kind of like kept going. You know? Yeah.
Dude,
but yeah, they're good performers too.
That's awesome. And alongside with you, that's like top tier best show for anyone right there. So more on your music. About your highest playing song. can you tell me like your experience of like how those songs like blew up for you, and like were you expecting it to like blow up like that, or like, what were you feeling in that moment when you saw all those plays, dude?
Oh, man. You mean Tillman Talk, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think I heard this like beat on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I wanna spit something over it.
yeah,
Just make a quick little song, right? And at this time, this was when slowed and reverb songs were still popping, like
yeah.
on TikTok and on YouTube. So I made the song, and I was like, how am I gonna promote this? So I reached out to this girl who ran a slowed and reverb YouTube channel,
Right.
and she was like, yeah, I can post the song on my channel for like $15. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay, dope. Like just just let me know when that happens. So she posted it, and it just kept on
Yeah,
going up and going
reposted,
up and going up.
reposted.
Yeah, and then before I knew it, it was like on
And now
Spotify.
you're on top 20.
Kept on climbing up.
Now you're on like
Yeah, I was
top
like,
tier
what?
list in the underground and shit. That's so
Yeah.
dope.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It just kept on going up.
dude.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. But other songs, I just promote on TikTok, little live reviews,
That's sick.
SoundCloud.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah.
And 100% well deserved too. Like, they're
Thank you.
awesome songs, they're unique, they're different. And there's nothing wrong with having a little different. Everyone needs a little different, especially in music.
Yeah.
So here's a interesting question for you. If you had a chance to go back in time, right? What would you change? Like in your pursuit for music and stuff?
Oh, I don't think I could hear you just then. Can you repeat yourself?
Yeah, hang on. Can you hear me now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, why is it? I think it's a little delayed on the camera.
Yeah. All right, I think you should.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, awesome. Technical difficulties. But we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. We're back. So, but yeah, the question was, if you had a chance to go back in time to change anything before you started music, what would you change?
Before I started music, it would definitely be like the way I handled like personal relationships when I was younger. Kind of just avoid everything, isolate myself. Definitely would have tried to be more like open.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now I have like a hard time getting out of it because I grew up doing it.
Yeah.
Like a bad habit I'm trying to break.
Dude, I feel you on there, because it's like
Mhm.
like when you're so used to kind of like separating, like it's not like I wouldn't consider it as separating, but it's like you feel like it's kind of like an eerie feeling whenever you try to interact with people. That's from like my experience, because I was kind of the same way. And it's like what's even crazier is that I'm doing the complete opposite of what I thought I would be doing back then compared to now, which is kind of wild. It's like
me too.
most quietest of people who are really like thinking and stuff and like keeping in their thoughts and everything are really the most outgoing of people. And it's like for you, it's like you have your shows, your music and everything, it's very outgoing, and it's like you're really getting out of that, and that's like an awesome thing to see.
Thanks.
So got that question down. As an artist for yourself and everything, over your experience of what you had and what you learned in these 4 years, like what like tips can you give to like any like aspiring artists out there?
Definitely like don't quit when you're not getting the thing you feel like you should be getting after a certain time or a certain amount of effort. Like I remember like this time last year I literally wanted to quit, but sometimes when you want to quit, what you really should be doing is problem solving. Like you're like, oh, I'm not getting any streams and no one's reposting my stuff.
Well, you gotta figure it out.
It's time to like problem solve, not quit. The answer isn't quitting. So don't quit. you know, and just like, you know, trust the process. Like it'll take some time, but just be consistent with it, you know, invest in yourself. Sometimes, you know, people, I'll see them be like, oh, $50 for promo. It's like, it's either you spend $50 on yourself or you spend $50 on someone else, buy someone else's stuff.
Right.
You gotta choose, you know?
Yeah. And
So yeah, those are the two things I'd say.
I mean, those are well put, you know, answers, because like not enough artists really put time to invest in themselves and like really
Yeah,
truly learn what they can really do, like from, you know, extent wise, because
yeah,
it's either like artists have like problems like with being confident, or artists that are just like don't want to like go through great lengths to really push it, but say that they always say like, oh, I really want, you know, I really deserve these 100 plays. Well, what are you doing to really deserve it? You know, like, are you really putting that work
exactly.
in? Like,
Yeah,
and you know, work it's always important, because if you're trying to learn a specific craft, like for me, like I like interviewing. I practice these questions. I practice talking to myself and how I would talk to, you know, the interviewee. Like everything that you
yeah,
do that you enjoy doing, you put time into, you practice for it. And you know, here I am, audience, interviewing someone who put that work in and is getting good benefits out of it. You know, and that's like this an awesome thing to see. And those are
yeah.
two
Thank you.
very well put answers, and I cannot ever, not, agree with you, because that is like the most important thing that every aspiring artist needs to know, and is
Yeah,
that invest in time into yourself. So,
yeah.
you know, I really wish I can talk to you longer, but you know, I don't want
Hmm.
to, take up too much of your time. But uh do you have any like last messages to the audience that you would like to say? Like any last comments?
Just that, like, you know, I really appreciate the interview,
Mm,
you know, and I appreciate anyone that comes to support me after watching this interview.
100%.
And yeah, just, you know, just keep being consistent with it,
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, and the sky's the limit,
It
honestly, you
really,
know?
dude, the universe is the limit. I'm gonna tell y'all that the
Yeah,
universe is the limit. You know, and
facts.
it was awesome having you in for the show. I've been watching you carefully on how you've been doing your music, and you know, I really wanted to get you in. Here I am getting you in, and it's awesome. Yeah, I had an awesome
Yeah,
time.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, 100%. I'm thankful that you were in too. So, to the Mellow audience, man, Mellow out, man. Have a great night.